Well, great news. My book came today in the mail. Is it recording? Yeah. I'm outside at a schoolyard, and no, there is no school in session. I'm not being creepy. I asked a bunch of teenagers if school was in session just to make sure. Because, as you can see, my shirt is off and my very sexy body is showing. Some people just can't take sarcasm. They really can't. I am literally sun gazing my eyes out because I'm going to go back to where I work out. And I know the guy that works at the front desk, and he used to be a marketer for 40 years. So on his lunch break, we're going to talk. But I have to go very soon after I talk to him because I have to catch the bus and meet my mom. And we are going to go to the Masonry place. And I'm going to check that out. So I'm pretty excited about that. But the one problem is, if the people that we're going to visit aren't there, then I don't know what we're going to do for 4 hours in my hometown before the Masonry thing starts. We might be able to go there before, but I don't know. The whole point of going there is pretty much to get social connections and to get recruited and to get a piece of paper, a form to fill out to join. All last night, I swear, I even had dreams about it. I had dreams last night that I was changing. Quite literally. I had dreams all of last night. It was weird. My dream was, and apparently my grandma told me, I was talking throughout the night in my dreams. I had dreams starting from kindergarten to high school to college. All about, they were random, but all about me growing up and me becoming a new person pretty much. I looked up all the meanings, what I saw in the dreams. If you see a classroom in your dreams, it means that you're being taught something or you're advancing or you're learning. Pretty much. Pretty self-explanatory. If you see a teacher in your dream, you are being taught something. Pretty self-explanatory also. There's more to it, but you can look that up on your own time. I keep rotating around to make sure there's no people around because even with sun gazing, I still have anxiety about talking like to myself in public. I mean, I don't really. I walk down the street, kind of talk to myself, but I won't say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, good. I won't respond like a crazy person. I don't even do that right now. I don't know. I'm weird. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hell of excited today. Yesterday was just fucking boring. Yesterday I was just collecting information. And then just sitting on my ass and pretty much just collecting more information. It was more of a mellow, boring day yesterday. As today is where everything's put in action. And I'm doing everything today. But yeah, I don't know what the guy I know, I don't like giving names out. The guy I know at the gym I go to wants to talk about. He is a marketer. He was a marketer for 40 years. He only works there because he's retired. He's a nice guy. How much time do I have left? Wow, we're only at 4 minutes. I'm talking really fast because today is one of those days where I constantly look up at the sun. So I have a lot of energy. But I got this feeling like my eyes are perfectly fine when I look into the sun. I could do it for maybe 20 seconds, max. And then I'll look around and my eyesight's fine. But then when I go in the house or look at a computer screen in the house, everything's a little darker and I can see these sunspots. But when I'm outside, I don't see any sunspots. It's almost like as human beings, we're not supposed to even be inside. We weren't created. Whoever created us We weren't supposed to ever be inside of anything. We're supposed to be outside all the time and adapt to the environment. So when we go inside, our emotions change, our feelings change, because we're not in nature. We're not in our natural habitat of where we're supposed to be. We're not around animals. We're not around plants. We're not healthy anymore. We're in an enclosed, caged area. I see houses, seriously, as enclosed, caged areas. And then some dumbass will say, well, then live on the street. That's not what I fucking mean. Like, I heard a family... Oh, my bag fell. I was waiting for that to happen. I got In-N-Out Burger. My family said, well, then just live on the streets. And I said, that's not what I mean. I mean, we should all just live in nature. Like, I know that sounds really hippie-like, but honestly, if we all lived in nature, we would get more oxygen to our brains, for one thing. We would become more connected to animals, and yet we are connected to animals, but we only connect to dogs and cats, and then we find it that killing a cat, killing a dog is wrong, but then we'll kill a pig, and that's right. If we're going to kill a pig, kill a cat, kill a dog, eat a cat, eat a dog. But yet, as a society, we're really stupid. We honestly are very fucking stupid. I'm the only person who says shit like this. We are fucking stupid. We are. We see one thing. People agree with it. And then we don't think any other way. Cats are our pets. Dogs are our pets. You know, in the Caribbean, Samoan people, those giant people who eat tons of food, they eat turtles. But in America, we raise them as pets. In other countries, like China, they eat cats and dogs. We're the only kind of place that gets animals that other countries eat, and we make them our pets instead of eat them. And then we make it so it's weird to eat things that we get meat from. Yet chickens and, I don't know, cows and all these things that we get meat from, those can't be pets. But soon, in a few years, maybe they will become pets, and it will become weird to eat them. When really, like 20 years before, once we look into the future, I'll be saying, hey, remember when those things were normal to eat and now they're pets? It's just like, where is this world going? We're so goddamn brainwashed by everything society tells us. And you know what? We don't even create these things. Zionists create these things. And I'm not going to put that in the title, because anytime I put Zionist in the title, like, I can't monetize my video. They don't let me monetize my video. South Park actually made a good point that the conspiracy theorists actually work for the government, which they do. Most of the conspiracy theorist channels work for the government, so they can prompt up that the government is powerful and strong, but they really aren't. That's what a South Park episode made fun of. But I do believe that half, like Alex Jones, of course, is definitely working for the elites, obviously. He's an actor. He does stand-up comedy. Derp. He can't cry normally. There's a funny, hilarious video of him trying to cry. Honestly. Oh, did I mention I have to make 10 more pages in my book? I'm literally walking around today asking tons of people I don't know. I'm just walking up to people and asking, do you think I should add pages to my book? And people are saying, your book's awesome. But they do keep saying you should add pages to it because it's really fucking thin. I didn't think my book would actually be this thin. I mean, the cover came out fucking amazing. One person who works at my gym, he told me that I should color every page in the middle, like the character should be colored, but the words behind the character shouldn't. Just like the cover. But the point of the book is, like, he thought it was a coloring book. From the first part, he opened it. He didn't even know. He's like, there should be words in here. I'm like, the whole book is words. And he's like, oh, I didn't even notice that. That makes it really hard to read. I'm like, that's the point. He's like, this is a cool book. So, yeah, some people, when they get my book, they're not going to notice it. I didn't know that would happen. But some people, like the intellectuals, the intuitives, the philosopher kind of people, they'll notice the words. The other people who aren't like that will probably just color the book. That's why I like my book, because it gives two options. You can color it, or you can read it. But right now, as I stare into the sun, all I'm thinking is, what can I add to my book? And if enough people see this video, they can give me ideas. Because I have to create 10 more pages. And that may not seem like a lot. It takes a day to create a page. Sometimes it takes 3 days to create one page. Because I seriously take my time to think about what to add to each page. It's not just like a instant thing. Oh, hilarious thing to tell you. So, my step-grandpa is becoming intuitive. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in the world. He goes into the sun a lot, so I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he looks up at the sun, my step-grandpa does a lot of things that are actually healthy for you. He sighs, which relieves stress, which is really irritating because he does it all the time, because he's passive-aggressive. But he relieves stress. He works in the sun all the time, and he looks up at the sun. So he does some sun gazing. He has a very fast metabolism, so he digests food very easily. And he just brings up really good points. When my grandparents are reading the newspapers, he said an extremely smart point this morning. He said they're putting soldiers and Marines and in the Army just so they'll die. They don't care about them. And in my room, I'm like, oh my God, that's the smartest thing he has ever said in the past 2 years of me living here. And my grandma's like, that's not true. I don't want to hear that. My grandma is the one person I know in my life that loves avoiding truth, avoiding reality. If there's reality, it scares her, so she just ignores it. She likes living in a fantasy world where nothing ever goes wrong, nothing's ever bad, nothing's ever rude. It's just like, don't say that. It's like, why? Why not? Also, there was a gym membership thing in the newspaper. It's $10 a month, $1 down. And I'm just like, Grandma, that's a scam. And my step-grandpa said, that's a scam. And he laughed at her. And she's like, no, it's not a scam. They're just a small business and they're trying to be nice. She sees everything from a nice standpoint. Like, everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, everything's wonderful. It's because she has never traveled in her life, except from when she was married to my original grandpa, and they traveled certain places when my mom was young. But she's never actually went on vacations or traveled outside of her comfort zone. So she doesn't know how brutal the world actually is, besides what she reads in the newspaper. She just reads that people were murdered in the newspaper, so she's afraid to leave and go anywhere. And then her son's a cop, so she's afraid any place he tells her is dangerous, she won't go to. So even the place she lives in, where people have died, I have seen it, people have died, believe it or not, she still stays in her neighborhood and goes to only certain grocery stores and never goes anywhere else. It's actually incredibly sad if you think about it. Never going anywhere new actually kills brain cells because no new neurons are being created or used. I hate to say this, but my step-grandpa's smarter than my grandma. Never thought I would say that in my life. Okay, It's almost at 15 minutes. I gotta end the video now. Have a great day. Son!